In a full service restaurant, a server really only has four opportunities over the course of the meal to increase average guest spend, right? So we can only get a certain amount of covers in the front door, and then we have to maximize how much revenue is generated from each of those seats. That becomes incredibly powerful. And over the course of a meal, we like to think there are tons of opportunities to influence the meal and to influence the average guest spend, but we don't. There are really only four opportunities. So on this video, we're going to talk about what each of those four areas are, where your four opportunities are, why, so that you can make a plan, you can build tactics, strategies, and scripts to help your servers make you more money and themselves more money. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Chip Klose. I'm the host of the Restaurant Strategy Podcast. I'm the author of The Restaurant Marketing Mindset, and I'm the founder of something called the P3 Mastermind. This is a group coaching program where I work with independent owners and operators to help them increase the profitability of their restaurants. If you are interested at all in learning more about that mastermind, you will find the link below in the show notes. Also, while you're down there, take this opportunity to go and hit the bell, ring the bell, subscribe to this channel. When you subscribe, you'll be notified every time there's a new video. Try to make these videos short, sweet, to the point so you can get the most amount of value from your limited time watching. So here we go, right? We're going to talk about the four areas. There are really only four opportunities that a server has in a full service setting to increase the average guest spend. What are those four? Number one, it's first approach. Number two, it's when they talk about the menu and or take the order. Number three, it's before entrees are served when we try to get that second beverage sale. And the fourth opportunity is what I call the turnaround from entrees to desserts. Those are the only four chances you have over the course of the meal. And yes, you're building a rapport. Yes, you're hopefully having lots of conversations. A server is touching bays, topping off water, topping off wine, clearing dishes, clearing glassware, all of that. And yes, every time a server touches a table, there is an opportunity to maybe make a sale. But there are really only four opportunities over the course of the meal to do it. Now, there are going to be other videos where we go into much greater depth about how to dig into each of those four areas, but let's just take them apart just for a couple of minutes, right? The first one is on first approach. I cannot tell you how crucial it is on first approach to get a drink order, right? It's not about introducing yourself. It's not about delivering the menus. It's not about getting a water order. None of that. The most important part is to get a drink order, because the sooner you get the drink order, the sooner you can serve the drinks, the sooner they can start consuming the drinks. The best way to increase profitability in a restaurant is through second beverage sales. The only way you get to a second beverage is by delivering the first beverage so that they can consume it. I cannot tell you how crucial this is. On first approach, yes, greet them with confidence. Yes, introduce yourself. Yes, pass out the menus, all of that, but not at the expense of getting that first beverage sale. I used to work with a server who at that restaurant, we used to bring the wine list, the cocktail menu, and the menus. And she notoriously, quote unquote, forgot the menus. Every time she'd greet a table, she'd go over and say, "Hey, I'm so sorry. I was just caught at another table and I didn't want you waiting. Just wanted to stop by and introduce myself. And I wanted to see if I could get anyone something from the bar, a cocktail, a beer, a glass of champagne, perhaps." Now, you're going to build a script that is appropriate for your restaurant, but very similar to that. In fact, if you could greet the table without menus, without a wine list, without anything else except what you need them to focus on first, that would be great. Perfect example is if a host is seating a table, I don't think the host should go over with menus, a wine list, and a cocktail menu. If all you want them focusing on is maybe wines by the glass or a cocktail, then for the love of all things holy, only greet them or only seat them with that cocktail menu. So show them over to the table. Here's your table. Everyone, please enjoy. I'm going to leave the cocktail menu here for you. Your server will be over in just a second to take that drink order. Let them know what's coming next. Can't tell you how important it is on first approach to get a beverage sale. Right? The second opportunity is when you either talk about the menu or take the order. This is crucial, right? The way that a server walks a table through the menu, the way that a server, makes suggestions over the course of either walking them through the menu or taking the order is crucial. I used to work with somebody all the time who was great at getting an appetizer for the center. So everybody would place the order, and then what they would do, right? This guy would do this and say, "Hey, you know what? I just noticed that no one ordered the risotto, or I just noticed no one ordered the seafood salad." And we're sort of famous for the risotto. We're really well known for the seafood salad. You know what I would recommend? Getting one of those for the center, because you shouldn't leave this restaurant and not try this dish. It didn't matter what they ordered or what they didn't order, he would always suggest something that he felt they shouldn't miss. Now, it was up to the table to say, "No, thanks, we're good." But 9 out of 10 tables would say, "Oh, really? We didn't realize. Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much. Yeah, please just bring one and put it in the center." It was amazing to watch. There are moments like that when you take the order that you can't miss. You have to know they are there. That, right? So if everybody gets an appetizer for themselves, $15 an appetizer, it's $60 on the check, and then you get a 16 or 18 or $20 appetizer, or even, hey, just another $15 appetizer for the center, you've increased the check average at that four top, right? 15 divided by 4. That's like $3.50. It's amazing what you've done to increase the average guest spend. Third one, the opportunity is second beverage sales. And we're going to devote an entire video to this. But you have to make sure that when you go over and you clear glassware, right? So the way to get second beverage sales is to get the first beverage down. The way to focus on second beverage sales is through table maintenance, right? That we do not leave dead glassware on the table. If they've got an ounce or two left of wine or beer, we go over and say, "Hi, sir, I see you're almost finished with your beer. May I get you another one?" Or better, right? So timing is key with second beverage sales. You always want it before the entrees hit, and I'll talk about it in another video, so look out for that. But you also, it's key to focus on framing. So timing is important and framing is important. Framing meaning the way you phrase the question, right? So it's not a yes or no question. The best way to do this is an either or, this or that. So rather than coming over and say, "Sir, would you like another glass of wine?" It's coming over and say, "Sir, would you like another glass of the white, or were you ready to move to red?" Right? So it's not, do you want one or not want one? It's 50-50. It's a coin toss whether you'll get the sale. But if you offer this or that, then they can opt out. They can choose none of the above. But actually, you got to go out of your way to do that. Most consumers won't. Most diners won't. Now, really crucial. I'm not talking about overserving. We never overserve. That's why we're focusing on second beverage sales, not third, fourth, fifth, eighth beverage sales, but just second beverage sales is super crucial. Timing is important, and so is framing. Finally, then the last area is that turnaround from entrees to desserts. Don't clear all this stuff and then come over and say, "Oh, so did we save room for dessert?" It's lazy. And I know what people are doing. I know what servers are doing. I used to know this trick, right? I used to come over and say, "Oh, do we save any room for dessert?" You're hoping they'll say, "No, I'm a big fat pig. We'll just take the check and go." So you can clear the table and get it reset and resat with a new table. I get it. But actually, this works against you. There is a way of doing both things, right? There is a way of getting the dessert sales and getting them up and out before any of the other people. I know this because my first job in New York City was in Times Square. We lived and died by pre-theater, the ability to get people in and out in time for to make their curtain. Here's the key, though. When there were, in this restaurant, it was massive, 400 seats. There were 25 servers every single night. You certainly didn't have enough business at 8 o'clock to keep all 25 servers. So the people that couldn't fully fill up, they ended up getting cut, which meant you just got one turn or a turn and a half, and that was death. You needed 3 full seatings, pre-theater, and then the 8 o'clock seating, and then post-theater at like 10:30, 11. That was the only way to succeed in that job, right? That was the only way to really make a living. What I got really good at doing, and I was taught this, and I teach it to you guys, is to go over when you're clearing the table. Say, "Is everyone finished with their entrees? May I clear these out of your way?" And they say, yeah, we're all done. As you're clearing, say, "Hey, listen, I don't know if you saved room for dessert, but I always recommend this one and this one. We've got a whole dessert menu, which I'm happy to bring you, but if you just wanted a little something, you shouldn't miss these two." You have to read the cues on the table. And so if you see they're sort of full, they're sort of ready to go, see if you can get one dessert on the table. 2 desserts for 4 people. It is fine. What happens is when they have something that's coming, then you can sell them coffees, you can sell them teas, or after dinner drinks, right? Bourbons, scotches, cognacs, all of that, right? Dessert wines. You can then sell them because they're going to be here for another 20 minutes or so. right? So then when you get so you're clearing the stuff and you say, hey, I don't know if you save room for dessert, but you really shouldn't miss these two. We're sort of famous for these two. And they say, oh, that's really great. Why don't you just bring those two? You don't have to bring all the menus. Perfect. You clear the stuff, you set them up for dessert, and you go over and say, great, kitchen's working on those two desserts. Who would like coffee, tea, or bourbon, a scotch, maybe a glass of dessert wine? You will get sales. That's it. Those are the only 4 opportunities, right? First approach, either when we talk about the menu or when we take the order. The third one is second beverage sales. And the fourth one is what I call the turnaround. You need to build tactics, strategies, and scripts for all 4 of those areas. I promise you, when you teach your servers how to do it, they will make you more money. They will make themselves more money, and you'll have a whole different restaurant on your hand. Again, if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe here. If you don't know the Restaurant Strategy Podcast, go check us out. And if you want to learn more about the P3 Mastermind, grab the link below. Just grab some time on the calendar. I look forward to talking with you. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time.